Andre Iguodala, the glue of the Golden State Warriors. How much does he have left? Well, maybe 3 years. Rumor has it that would be what it would take to get it done, and that could be what's on the table. Let's find out if could is reality as we bring in our good friend Anthony Slater, San Jose Mercury News. This is obviously a huge piece, and maybe that final piece outside of the Durant inevitable. So where are we, Anthony, with getting Iguodala to sign the dotted line?
I think pretty close. I think it's a great sign for the Warriors that not only did Andre Iguodala cancel the rest of his meetings after his meeting with the Rockets, but pretty soon after, rumblings started coming out that the Rockets were going after Iman Shumpert, which obviously he plays, Iguodala's position. And the Warriors, there was reports that he wasn't going to meet with the Warriors, although obviously he basically had a year-long meeting in the last year. But now it sounds like Bob Myers is heading to L.A., and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if something's figured out within the next hours or probably at the worst in the next few days.
Was there a prevailing thought, do you think, within the organization that this was about leverage with Houston? Or do you believe that it is reality that, hey, look, Chris Paul was there. There was a great meeting. We heard great reports. He cancels the rest of the meetings. Was that a power play or a legitimate, do you think, option there for Iguodala to leave Golden State?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's just kind of a dangerous game to play where Iguodala wanted to return. He's always wanted to return. He loves the Bay Area. He has a tech conference set up with Steph Curry in late August in San Francisco. But at the same time, you don't want to test him too much. You don't want to make him feel, unwanted. The Warriors want him on 2 years. They've always kind of wanted either 2 years or what they did with Sean Livingston, which was a three-year deal, but the last year's unguaranteed because guess what? Klay Thompson comes up in the 2019 offseason, and he, is more important. He's younger than Livingston and Iguodala. But Iguodala, rightfully so, at age 33, about to enter his 14th season, he wants that third year. So I think it's just kind of been a tug-of-war for that third year, and Iguodala met with the Spurs because he knew that would feel a little bit dangerous for the Warriors. Now he's meeting with the Rockets because everyone knows how dangerous the Rockets are becoming. Maybe he leaked that thing that it was an excellent meeting, and maybe that pushed the Warriors over and to say, hey, they'll guarantee the third year, because that's really what I think about what it is for Iguodala. Guarantee the third year and he'll be back.
Now, if it wasn't for playing, they should have paid David West to come back just for his speech after Game 5, because that was better than Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday or anything that we saw in Hoosiers. Talk about just what he was to that team, the importance of that, because they are going to need players like David West to come back, take very little money, and just want to be a part of it. How about that signing earlier today?
Yeah, look, hey, that's the speech you heard on TV once. That's the speech that Draymond Green and the whole team heard about 18 times this year. He is a motivational guy. He teaches some classes in Cincinnati at times, and he was really the calming presence for Draymond Green this year. I can remember a game against the Nets where Draymond and Steve Kerr were really getting into it all game. Steve Kerr was really telling him, hey, stop getting technical, Draymond. Stop kind of pushing the edge. And I can remember West really calming him and talking to Kerr after and just, how much of a calming presence West is. I think they would bring him back at that minimum, which he's going to sign for 1 year, $2.3 million, just for that. But, he also actually really helped them. I mean, people probably remember Game 5. I thought he gave him 10 really good minutes in Game 2. He averaged about 6 assists per 36 minutes last year, was one of the tops of centers. He kind of really works in that backdoor cutting, which is kind of how the Warriors offense works. So he actually helps them on the court, and I really think he helps them off the court. And for them to get him back in that second unit, it's just kind of one piece of these dominoes that they're kind of trying to knock down and really bring back a team that was the best in the league last year.
Well, I want to ask you about that because we've already seen some of that, right? Obviously, Curry, we know Durant will come. Here's Livingston. Here's West. Iggy next. My question is, if you got Ian Clark, who's going to get paid somewhere else most likely, maybe JaVale, same thing, who are the guys they've got their eye on? We've seen reports about Dwayne Dedmon. Are there other surprise names? I'm sure everybody wants to jump on this ship where it's headed. Can you give me a couple of guys you think they might be looking at beyond getting Iggy done?
Yeah, so, Livingston signing back takes away some of the money they were thinking about going elsewhere. And if Iguodala does sign back for this 3 year, around $13 million per deal, then I think it almost becomes about minimums. I think Vince Carter is actually a very probable signing later in the free agency period, and he'll probably take the minimum. He'd almost fill that Matt Barnes role that they have. And then, look, they want to hand Patrick McCaw about 18 to 20 minutes per game next year. I think that's a plan of theirs. He was really good. He was good in Game 5. He was good when Kevin Durant got hurt in late February and that month that Durant was out. So I think they trust McCaw. They drafted Jordan Bell, and I think they believe he'll take the James Michael McAdoo role and almost maybe even get about 15 or so minutes per game at the center. Damian Jones is their JaVale McGee clone, basically. He's a 21-year-old rookie from Vanderbilt, didn't play much last year. They hope he can be kind of the athletic lob guy next year. I'm interested to see what happens with JaVale McGee, but I think they're pretty confident they can just sit there and sign the Vince Carters of the world, bring most of their guys back, and then sit there and know that they have 4 All-Stars, Andre Iguodala, and they'll be the title favorites.
Love the idea of Vinsanity out there going after a title. Anthony, appreciate it. We'll get back to you again soon. Keep the cell phone handy.